let us be present parents. That is number one. Number two, let us be loving, let us be kind, let us be listening, and let us try to reach out to our children, even have a discussion and try to be there for them. As a parent, are you present? As a parent, how much freedom have you given your child? Are you giving your child excessive money which they can use to buy alcohol? Do you know your child's friends, all right? Do you know how far your child goes when it comes maybe to going to social events? My name is Dennis Ondari. I'm a teacher at Jamhuri High School. I teach biology and chemistry. Besides teaching, I do I'm involved in guidance and counseling. I'm a caregiver of adolescents living with HIV. I'm also the assistant patron for Environment and Wildlife Club. I'm the drama patron, and I'm also involved in music activities of the school. I'm born and raised in Kisii County. Yeah, that is where I actually was born. I went to a local primary school called Gesangero. Then I joined Homa Bay High School for my high school studies. I did my Form 1, 2, and 3 in Homa Bay High School. Unfortunately, in 2007, I was going now to Form 4 in 2008. We had the post-election violence, and I'm really hoping that this year there's not going to be violence because I was really affected. So I was forced to move from Homa Bay High School in 2008 to Ichibo Boys High School. I did my KCSE. Yeah, I got a grade of B+. I wanted to be a nurse, but then I couldn't get admission for nursing. The next option that was there was for me to be a teacher because I knew I'm a social person, I'm sociable, and I just like interacting with people. So I felt teaching could give me a platform probably to interact with people and impact on them. So I did my university education in Kisii University. I graduated in 2014, and I was lucky that year I was the valedictorian, so I received an award. Okay, basically what I mean is apart from just doing counseling, it is important that we understand some of the issues which are befalling the students, all right? So then we realize that one of the issues is sickness. And when we talk about sickness, there are different types of sickness, but my main focus is on the children who probably were born with HIV, because most of them, the cases are actually those of vertical transmission, meaning they were born with HIV and they're in our midst. So I have to reach out to them, speak to them, then encourage them to just live a positive life. It began, I'm now doing my second year, all right? Because this program of giving care to the adolescents living with HIV is currently in Nairobi County and Kiambu County. It is yet to reach to other parts of the country, all right? So it is like, it began here in Nairobi and in Kiambu County. So I've been in for a year. I'm doing my second year now. I majorly do it while they're in school because they have their caregiving hospitals, like now the Mata Hospital, plus many other clinics which are out there. So you find that when they're out of school, they always have a support system. However, that doesn't mean that when schools close, I cannot keep in touch with them and just keep knowing how they're faring on. It is challenging, quite, but at the same time it is interesting. Interesting in the sense that at the end of the day, you know, you are giving someone hope. you are giving someone a reason to really be in school. So basically, there are challenges, like some of them could feel it's not worth it, why me? Why do I have to take medication every other time? But on the other hand, I just have to be there for them and really encourage them and tell them it is not the end of life, and being positive doesn't mean that you are dead or you are dying. Yes. Yeah, of course, stigma is real. That is actually sad that in this era we still have stigma. All right. So some feel that the stigma which is out there is real. Some will tell you their friends had accidental disclosure. So that means accidental disclosure. Some people got to know about their status, and it was never deliberate for them to say their status, but people got to know them. So as people got to know their status, then they looked at, like, this one is sick. So when it comes to playing, they may feel like they are being isolated. But I thank God here in school, we really have a very strong support system, and there's a lot of confidentiality. So they are just like, every other person. No one is gonna single them out and say, this one has this one has that. Another challenge could be like when they are at home and they are taking medication, their peers are not taking. So their peers will be raising eyebrows, like, why is it that so and so seems to be taking medicine all the time, and myself I don't take? So yeah, those are some of the challenges they face, and we always encourage them to just be positive and know that it's not the end of life. It also goes back to exposure, the level of exposure. A story is told, I think, 1 year back, when youths locked themselves up in some estate. I don't know if it was somewhere here in Nairobi. Some estate youth locked themselves up. It even happened in some place in Kisii, where youths went to party. And as they were partying, it was boys and girls, teenagers. They got themselves into drinking alcohol. And then once one is drunk, what else can they think of? Of course, they have no second thought. They can't think of getting sick. They just want to have fun. And to them, fun probably is about having, sex. So to control that, it still goes back to us. As a parent, are you present? As a parent, how much freedom have you given your child? Are you giving your child excessive money, which they can use to buy alcohol? Do you know your child's friends, all right? Do you know how far your child goes when it comes maybe to going to social events? So if we are there and constantly we try to talk to them, have open discussions and talk it out, all right? Because HIV is real, STDs are real. It should be about having open discussions and trying to encourage positive thinking, all right? When you leave the child just like a wild animal to discover things on their own, to learn things on their own, that is where they're likely to end. Young people, the challenges are so immense, like there are so many. Of course, one of them being the social media, all right? People are so much exposed to the social media that they are gathering a lot of information from the social media. So by the time you are meeting them, it's like they already know everything. Unlike our time when we didn't know, all right? We were kind of naive, and I really feel maybe it was good for us to be naive, because you could take you could take instructions, and even you could take information serious. So these ones, they're exposed to social media, and through that they're really getting a lot of information. The other thing is peer pressure and peer influence, all right? So these millennials, you find that most of them are so much into PlayStation, all right? Having fun and stuff, having a good phone. So some students may be feeling maybe lesser or may be feeling unhappy because a friend has a better phone and he doesn't have. So that really pushes them, and you could find some feeling sorry about themselves, all right? And we have violence at home, all right? It is a current thing and it is affecting these children. Some come from homes which have a lot of issues in terms of domestic violence, and you find that it is really affecting their emotions, it is affecting their thinking, it is even affecting their concentration. So that is where we really need to come in handy and try to encourage them, to just have that hope and try to be positive. It is not easy. I think the first step is to just try, find out what is it that they know, all right? So that even as they come, you just try to give them a listening ear, or you can give them questions which are like, just jogging their mind. Then through that, you get to know what they already know. So that as you get to know what they already know and the level of exposure, from there you can just have now the facts right. Now it will be upon them to choose, because what you will do in guidance, you just say, this is the position. If you do this, this is what you get. If you don't do this, this is what will happen. So you tell them and you try to really create a bigger picture for them to see what is likely to happen in case they don't do the right thing, even though they already have so much information from the social media. So just try to put facts right for them, and you just try to see how you can influence them to have positive thinking. It's about influencing. Yeah, most important, I think it's about really being there for them and trying to create that good rapport. Because I believe when you are friends, it is easier to work as friends than when you are kind of giving instructions. Okay, I think first of all, we really needed to try and be present as parents, because again, you have issues of children who have been exposed so much because they have been given so much freedom. Why? Because the parents are absent. So I really wish to encourage whoever is listening and is following out there that, one, let us be present parents. That is number one. Number two, let us be loving, let us be kind, let us be listening, and let us try to reach out to our children, even have a discussion and try to be there for them. Because if you create that good rapport with your son, with your daughter, they can easily open up and you can easily influence their thinking. That is number one. Number two, let us limit the kind of freedom we have given our children, all right? Limit the freedom. For example, if a child has come from school, they have homework to do, and as a parent, you can't supervise, you can't control them. Then you are giving them like a whole day to watch a movie, to be in social media. Then you see that kind of freedom is really not good. It is likely to lure them. It will also include the level of interactions, all right? Try to know your son's friends, try to know your daughter's friends, because that is where they're really going to get the social aspects. Yeah, so try as much as possible. Then number three, let us try to encourage our children to read the Word of God, because we will pray for them, we will support them, but again, we should also bring them closer to God, because we cannot do it without God. So when God is at the center, it can be easier for them. Even if they want to do something bad, our voice will just speak to them like it is not right. So it all depends on how are you bringing up this child. What kind of environment have you set back at home, all right? So that means we should not be violent as parents, all right? We should not be doing things which are not right at the face of our students, including maybe smoking. You are a heavy drinker and your son is growing seeing that. They will grow knowing that drinking is normal, all right, smoking is normal. So those are some of the vices which I think we really can cut down as parents, as caregivers. I think one, we have peer pressure, all right? Peer pressure in the sense that these kids, they have a social network. You'll even be surprised that kids here have a social network. They know what is happening in Western Kenya. They know what is happening at the coast. So through those social networks, you could hear, of course, a story is told whereby you could hear a school in the coast saying, in Nairobi, we are waiting. What are you guys doing? So there is that, vibe out there that people are trying to influence each other and they push them so hard. Number two, of course, there's the issue of drug and substance abuse. Some students could be into drugs, into substance abuse, and once someone has abused the drugs, they may not be in a better position to control their thinking, to control their actions. So such could also push people into that. Then there's the aspect of low performance, right? Students who are low achievers, if they are not well guided, if they are not well controlled and counseled, they may find a way of doing something else which can make them become heroes. You understand? I can't excel in academics, but I can excel in being a bad boy. I can excel in executing a particular role and so forth. Yeah. Then there's the aspect of maybe revenge. All right. Some are out for revenge. Yeah. Maybe they are bitter with a certain student, they are bitter with a group of maybe prefects, they are bitter with a group of teachers, and they want to revenge. So when they're thinking of the best way to revenge, they think that could be it. Then there's the aspect of some saying they don't have enough time to rest because the terms are shorter, unlike in the person used to have 15 weeks, 14 weeks for a whole term. Right now they are reduced it to maybe 10 weeks, 9 weeks, all right? So they feel the time is very short and the workload is so much. So it is, to me, I feel it is a way of trying to pass a message that we are not comfortable, we are not okay. So we should also find a way of listening to them and getting to know what they really want and what they are going through. My advice to young people is that we should embrace peace, all right? Let's be peacemakers, because I believe the future of this country lies in the hands of young people who range from our adolescents and even to the people aged between 25 and 35 years. Let us be the ambassadors of peace. Let us speak the message of hope, and let us be a brother's keeper. Let us not look at our brother in terms of where they come from, in terms of tribe, in terms of the financial muscle, but let us look at our brothers as a brother who is a Kenyan, who has red blood, that has the normal pigments just like my other blood, all right? Because I always remember what happened in 2007. It is really, really a bad experience. So I don't pray that we get there. Then lastly, I also urge the young people out there, if you are no longer under 18, get out there, get your voter's card and elect your leader. Life is good and life is what you make. Your future lies in your hands. So today, whatever you do will count. It is like a seed you are planting. Everything you do, it will always follow you. So my message will be, think positive, be positive, and be kind.